Here I am, in the place to be. Mr. K and B, you can't fuck with me. Extra sexy, extraordinary. Palms are hairy, your mama pop. What up, y'all? K and B, the Sexy Ninja here for Cplus Studios, and this is the Sexy Ninja Cast. Dropping every Sunday. And it is powered, it is fueled, it is energized by crazyhoodiez.com. Crazy Hoodiez with a Z. All designs created by the one and only Big Daddy of Cplus Studios, and the one and only Big Daddy that has the podcast called Big Daddy Forever, which you should listen to. Some great advices come from that podcast. Some great energies come from that podcast. And he fuels the Sexy Ninja Cast, so go! crazyhoodiez.com with a Z. I'll have the link in the description below so you can go get yourself a hoodie. He also has mugs, coffee mugs. If you're a coffee drinker, go get it. Awesome designs. Much love to Big Daddy for the support. And if you're new to the Sexy Ninja Cast, it is a podcast about me and my interests, my loves. It's broken down in 3 segments. First is positivity, like my what I learned this week, what I took this week and turn it into a positive mindset for myself. The second, I didn't jump to the third. The second is the news. And third is the main topic of the show. It could be a review, it could be something I wanted to talk about. You know, it also could be interviews. It could be a lot of things, but the main topic is very special. And this week is very special as well, because if you saw the thumbnail or if you saw the title of this podcast, we have Russell Hood. I've officially collected the Infinity Stones of the Armed Robbery Entertainment, and I have interviewed the entire roster in the gauntlet of the underground. And I've talked about it before. I the Bales, who was a guest on here as well. And I was just like, man, now I want an Armed Robbery Entertainment. Oh, everybody loves me. And I was like, that would be dope. It's a great interview, so stick around for that. And this week, I got asked something very, 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 like, it wasn't, it is what it is, but they're like, hey, man, because they saw me cruising around, and I was rocking an Insane Clown Posse shirt, and someone's like, yo, man, you're a juggalo? And I was like, yes, I am. It's tatted on my arm, hatchet man on my hand, other ICP tattoos all over me. And they're like, damn, I didn't know that. I'm like, wait, what? Well, I host a review/reaction show called That Juggalo Vlog. Juggalo's in the name. And they're like, man, why do you still rep that to this day? You're about to be 34. And I was just like, because when I've told the story before, when I found the Dark Carnival, it wasn't a fluke. It was something that I attached to and understood, and it spoke to me in many, many ways. And the community itself of being a juggalo, it was special. It is still special, you know, and I know there's a few divides amongst the community over some dumb stuff, but it's still one whole community of love and passion and drive of being the dopest and freshest person you could be, and also being the most independent mindset of a person you could be. And that was a huge attraction to being a juggalo, because like I've grown up, and when I grew up, I was very different from a lot of kids and stuff like that. Like a lot of people, you know, I was very different, very, very different. Always felt like an outcast. Always felt like I was, you know, and I tried to, you know, and my sense of humor was not really everyone else's sense of humor and this and that. And what being a juggalo taught me was that's okay. It's okay to be different. It's okay to be weird. It's okay to just be you, you know, and to this day, I represent that. And, you know, that symbol there is going with me to my grave, literally. And I said, and I was telling him, I was like, yeah, I go, and I still listen to ICP. They're like, you still listen to ICP? Isn't that a little childish? I'm like, no. And I was like, I'm so infused into the music and to Insane Clown Posse that I always find something more and more dope and more fresh from ICP. And they entertain me. The clowns entertain me. I like entertainment. I like to be entertained. And I like life lessons within the music. And I was just like, yeah, man, I'm going to down with the clowns till I'm dead in the ground. Going to be a juggalo for life. Even when I'm 80 and on crutches, whoop, whoop. Whoop, you know, I was like, that's who I am, man. And he was just like, and they couldn't grasp the concept. And I was like, it's fine. It's fine. I don't care if you don't understand that this is who I am. You know, I ain't gonna attack somebody for, you know, for being like, what do you call it, goth or whatever brand you want to be in this life. I'm not gonna judge you. Why? Because I don't know you. I can give two shits less. You know, as long as you're cool with me and I'm cool with you, we're fine. You know? And that was another thing. He's like, oh yeah, I heard a lot of juggalos just don't like other. I was like, no, man, I'm all about respect. I'm all about respect. I was like, if you're cool with me, I'm cool with you, bro. That's it. That's right there. And if you respect me, I'll respect you. And you know, just don't be stupid. You know, and a lot of people don't get that these days. And there's a lot of division in this country because of that dumb shit. It's like you're either this or you're this, and that's it. Or we post political stuff and other political stuff, and oh, we all hate each other, and oh, we give a crap about two old dudes who don't give a crap about you, no matter what party. I don't even like politics. I know we've talked so much crap about politics and talked so much crap about certain people in politics on the Social Vent podcast you can find in the archives. We've talked our shit, and to that now, fast forward to today, it's just like, man, like why do I care about somebody that has more money than I do and is off somewhere either in Florida or either the White House in Washington, and I care so much about these people, they don't affect my life. Yes, gas prices are up, but gas prices are up and this and that. This is all going up, but this is all part of this is fucking, like, America is kind of dumb sometimes. Because it's just this weird fluctuation. We had the pandemic and we had this and we had that, you know, and I was just like, I'm good. I'm stepping out. Like, I don't care. Cause, shit, here's one. I wore my ICP, fuck your rebel flag t-shirt, and I posted the shirt cause I was like, oh man, I love this shirt. You know, I put the shirt on, I took a post, and then automatically somebody that reps the Confederate flag was like, God damn it, why you hating on my flag? And I'm like, man, fuck your rebel flag, bro. Like, I was like, that's what ICP stands for. It's like, you know, as much as they're the wicked clowns, they are the superheroes of my life. They tell me these great crazy things in the world of the dark carnival. They you know, and I 100% believe it. And that's me. You don't have to. You can listen to it and be like, yo, man, this music is garbage. It's garbage to you. Whatever. That's the way I've always looked at it in life, especially when someone's like, oh, I don't like that. Cool. Well, no, I really don't like that. I don't like that person. Cool, bro. Well, do you? Well, no, I'm trying to tell you, I don't like that. I'm like, yeah, and good for you. What do you want me to pat you on the back, give you a hug? Touch your nuts? Touch your butthole? What do you want me to do? You don't like it. Then don't look at it. Don't watch it. Don't play it. Don't talk about it. That's the way it is nowadays. It's just like, you're either over here or you're either over here. There's no middle ground no more. It's no ifs, ands, or buts. It's like the pro wrestling community too. Well, WWE, stupid. Okay. Elaborate. Well, they're just stupid. Okay. I love AEW. Oh, good for you. For me, it's just more pro wrestling to go around. Like, you know, I've had my opinions, and that's the thing too. Is like when the conversation stops at this, and it's just like, well, why? Let's talk. Let's talk. Why? Why do you hate this thing so much? Well, I just do. Okay. Yeah, AEW for life, or WWE for life, or ICP for life, Twisted for life. It's just like this division is just dumb. It's always been dumb to me. And I think nowadays it's even more dumb to me. So that's why I stick in my bubble. I listen to music. I try to be as positive as I can be for people to understand that it's okay to be you. It's okay to be you and not let anybody affect you in that way. Just tell people like, hey, yo, I know what's bad. I know what's wrong. And I know what's good, and I'm staying on my side and keeping it that way and staying fresh and positive mindset for people like that. I'm staying in my mindset because I don't want no one to live up here for me. And people probably hearing that are like, oh, well, you know, the Juggalo thing, you're probably living your world. It's mine thing, though. It's not yours. You don't have to give a crap about what I like. And this is why I created the Sexy NinjaCast, because I was like, you know what? I want to talk about me. You know, and people don't. And if you don't want to listen, don't listen. It's called the stop button. That's it, you know. And we've gotten, especially on political stuff on the Social Event podcast, where we just talk a bunch of crap. And, you know, me and Big Daddy talk about it all the time. We're like, oh, somebody came at me again. I'm like, me too. And my reviews, I try to keep them as positive and uplifting and trying to get the person out there, their music and stuff like that. And I remember this one person messaged me, this was a while back, but I dropped a review, I think, for Fearless Fred Fury, and they're like, how much a psychopathic is paying you to suck their dick? And I'm like, they're not paying me anything. Or it was the opposite, where I do a Twisted review, and they're like, oh, fuck you, KMB. You represent that Twisted? Fuck you. You ain't a Juggalo. Give me your Juggalo card. I'm like, Juggalo card? What the? And I'm like, you know, when I read it, it's funny. It's like, when I read things and people don't like me, I brush it off. Or I just send them a really nice reply like, hey, thank you for watching. Much love, much respect. Whoop, whoop, you know. And usually they're like, oh, you know. That's just the way I handle things, you know. And it's funny, he's like, Big Daddy, though, he gets more offended for me. Like, he gets more offended, and he's like, oh, hell no, they ain't gonna talk to that big head boy like that. I'm gonna talk to that big head boy like that, but they ain't. It's my brother. And he'll go after them. And, you know, I tell him, like, yo, man, it's cool. But that's Big Daddy because we're brothers. We love each other. So just do you, be you. Don't let negativity bother you in any way. Just go through this life and remember, just keep a positive mindset, and it's okay. And there's always tomorrow. And right now, there will always be the news. Welcome to the news. Zack Snyder's Justice League turns 1 year old. Can't believe it. It's been a year. And Cody signs with WWE, allegedly, and will debut at WrestleMania, the spectacular, stupendous show, the Showcase of Immortals. And In the news, Violent J's 50th annual Spring Chicken Baby Boy Birthday Blowout Bash. It's April 28th, the Rave Eagle Club in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. You do not want to miss out on Violent J's birthday. And all right, y'all, I hope you're enjoying the Sexy Ninja Cast so far. We have a special guest. Introduce yourself, good sir.
How you doing? My name is Russell Hood, everybody. I'm an artist off of AR label, and we're just out here doing our thing. How you guys doing?
Really happy to have you on to the Sexy Ninja Cast because we're talking with Bells, and now I have officially interviewed the entire roster of Armed Robbery Entertainment. I am very happy to have you here, and I want to just dive right on in, and I want to ask, what is the origin story of Russell Hood?
It's pretty simple, pretty basic. I'm from Detroit, Michigan. I grew up in Detroit. I was raised there for most of my childhood. Then I moved out to a little country place called Fowlerville. That's about an hour and a half from Detroit. So I got a little mixture of country and city in me. So that's kind of, and I've been listening to all types of music for my entire life. And I love all genres, all types of art, really. I'm more of an artist than a musician, I would say, because I use music to paint my art, if it's understanding, you know what I mean?
Yeah, most definitely. And that's what I love about your sound. Like, how did you determine, like, this is what I'm going to do besides just rap? Because you have a very lovely voice.
Honestly, I haven't even decided, like, if I have a genre that I'd ever stick to. I don't want to be ever put in a box to where I only have a certain amount of toys to play with. I like to spread out and work with everything. I've worked with, like I said, I've worked with country artists. I've worked with rap artists. I've worked with rock artists. I'm about to put some rock music out soon as well. So, I mean, a genre is not something that I ever want to go to. I just want to be able to make the music that flows out of me, if you understand.
I understand that completely, because when I first started in music, I was boxed into Juggalo music, horrorcore and stuff like that. And then I stuck with that for a very long time. And then I realized, like, you know what? I love all types of music. Why can't, I shouldn't be stuck to just horrorcore in the sense. I should just do hip hop. I should do rock. I should do what I want to do. And that's what I really love about your music, because it's very different and unique in that aspect. How did you and Clay hook up?
I used to work at a place called Dearborn Sausage, and I was pushing Timeless at the time. I was trying to get a little recognition, and I ran into a guy named Jose, and we started talking, and we had a few meetings, and I met Clay, and everything started to go one thing after another, and we started making music together. Like, I didn't know who Clay was, to be honest. I met Clay, and I was completely thrown off because they're like, oh, Clay's, he's a star. And, Clay is a star. Clay has been doing music for a long time, almost 15, 20 years. So, and he's had his following already. So one day I Googled him. I'm like, oh, let me see who this guy is, because we're neighbors. We live 2 minutes away from each other down the street. And I Googled him. I'm like, oh, this guy is a star. So I pulled up on him at the studio one day. I hopped out my car. I'm like, what's going on, superstar? And that's the first time that I really recognized Clay for, the recognition that he deserves. He's been in the game for a long time, and he deserves the recognition he gets. So that's how I met Clay.
Oh, that's awesome. I like that too. You're like, I had to Google him, and all of a sudden all these images popped up. You're like, oh.
I was blown away. I was like, oh man, I had a superstar 2 minutes down the road and I didn't even know it.
I want to dive right into your music. So you dropped a new single called Between the Lines.
I did.
What's the story behind that song?
The story behind Between the Lines is just, I'd say it can relate to everybody. We all say a lot of things. We all talk to a lot of people, and we all, communicate. But what do we really communicate? Are we communicating what we really feel? Or are we communicating just to communicate? And the real story behind everybody is always between the lines. You're never going to find the story by what someone just shows. You have to really put your time in, open up things, and really dwell in the people to understand them. That's kind of what Between the Line represents and what it means.
Yeah, and I love that song, and everybody here on the Sexy Ninja Cast is going to hear that song at the end of this interview. I really do like the song. I've been meaning to do a reaction / review of the song,
That'd be awesome.
which I'm still gonna do. It's on my list.
Looking forward to it.
So with what do we got with new projects? You talked about a new album coming out soon.
What is it?
Yeah, new projects and a new album coming out soon.
I do. I'm working on my second studio album. It's still unnamed. It's gonna be releasing. I'm gonna release the name sometime in a few months. I gotta I'm working on 2 music videos right now for the next 2 singles, and I'm also gonna be releasing. I got new merchandise with new logos, new styles, all kinds of new gears for you guys to launch right along with it. That way, everything runs concurrent. You're gonna have the new, the music video I'm working on is called "Mother's Love." It's a really deep song. I'm hoping to release it around Mother's Day this year, along with the video and everything that goes with it. And it's going to be it's a very powerful song. It's the first song that I'm actually playing the piano fully on. Like everything that you hear is all my creation. It's nothing, no other producers except for Clay will be producing it, but he's just working on mixing everything. But it's an amazing, powerful, emotional song, and if anybody can relate with the song, it's going to be this one. And I'm just getting ready to release that and working every day to get new video and everything together for
it. That's awesome, man. And like with new projects coming up and stuff like that, let's talk about the album Timeless. Like that record right there, that first full-length record, I love beyond anything. And like I told you before this interview started, I was listening to it before you reached out to me because it is on rotation for myself. And when I first heard it, it did make me cry because there's so much I can relate to on that album. Let's get the story behind that album, like everything. We don't have to break down track by track.
That album took me from start to finish. I think it took me about 5 to 7 years. Because each song is like the way I did that album is I wrote every day to that album, and I didn't leave a song until it made me emotional, until it put something there. And if it didn't touch me, I didn't put it on the album. Because my favorite, like we were talking about genres, my favorite theme of music and genres is music that has a message that touches you, that will leave you, and it will always be with you, no matter where you go. Music like that it's timeless. That's why I named it Timeless. I knew that album was going to be something special because I put everything into it. Everything emotionally, I put into it. If I was going through something, I put it into it. If I was angry, I put it into it. If I was sad, it went into it. I didn't hold nothing back. And that's what the result was. It just became a project of passion. And so it became something that everyone really loves, and I still listen to it to this day. Sometimes it's hard for me to listen to because it puts me back into the mind states and back into that place where I was, because I'm a person that suffers from depression and anxiety, extreme anxiety. So I have to deal with things like that, and I have to not put myself in a mind state that hinders me anymore. And so in order to get that out of me, I put it on paper and I put it on wax and I made it an album, and I put my emotions there. That way I don't have to carry them with me.
It's amazing what music can do. And I understand that completely, because there's certain songs that I've done that I've gone back to and I've listened to, and I'm like, oh man, I was such an angry son of a bitch at that moment in my life, I want to talk about collaborations. Like, are we going to get some crazy collabs on this next album?
We are. This is going to, on Timeless, there's no collabs whatsoever. It's all my album. The next one I plan on putting as many collabs as I can. I got a bunch of great producers, a bunch of great singers, rappers that I'm working with now, including in and out of the AR. I got Bells. I'm working on a great song right now with Bells. I got a song in mind for Jason the Sing God. Me and Clay's got a few songs that are down the pipeline. And then I got another guy down. I got 2 more features in Florida I'm coming with, because I've been working. I used to live in Miami, so I got a lot of connections down there with music and things like that. So I work with a lot of artists down there. And I got 2 collabs coming out of there. I'm working with a bunch of Detroit artists because, I love to represent my city. And just got a lot of really talented people, really talented minds, all coming together to work on this next album.
That's gonna be crazy awesome, man.
It's gonna be exciting. It's something to really look forward to.
One I am excited about is with Jason the Sin God. Like
that dude is crazy talented. Like,
play is unmatched.
yeah. So with this album coming, mindset, are we looking at live shows? Because I know you probably really miss live shows.
Oh, so bad. It's been years since I've been able to do a couple live shows, but I'm actually planning and currently working on live shows for June, and that's the first time I've told anybody plans on that. But June is the time frame of my next live shows, and I got oh boy, do I have an amazing lineup and set up for that.
Yeah, and I bet you got antsy with that because we had the pandemic, we had all this and that, and nothing is better than being in front of a crowd and
feeling emotion and exchange of the energy, and you feed off them and you feed them. It's an undescribable feeling that any artist that really is in this thing doing it can understand and acknowledge that.
Yeah, and on my notes here, I remember you wrote this down for me. What's up with new business ventures you were talking about?
I do. I have I'm working on a bunch of new business ventures. I got a whole different, because I've always been artistic, like I said earlier. So now I'm branching off into things like outside of music. So say you got a venue or you got an event going on, I can produce all your flyers. I'm working with my church because I used to run my church choir for years. So now I'm working with my church. I produce their flyers for them every Sunday. So when they come in, they got the flyers already. So my business is going to be doing all sorts of different things. New producing. So if you need records recorded, you need things produced for you, we can produce them. We can basically do anything that you need to help your next project, or if you got something in mind, we can give you advice or things like that as well. So we just got a whole bunch of stuff that we're working on that we want to bring to the public, so you guys know that you guys can come to us if you need us, and we're going to make sure everyone knows and it's clear that it's happening.
Man, I like too that you have other things you want to do, but and I know you probably keep really busy.
Oh, I try to.
Yeah.
The way I like to look at it is like, I see music as my art, it's my life, but it's also a stepping stone into other businesses. And I try to teach everybody I go around, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Sure, it's great to put your passion into something and work on it, but make sure that you also branching out and doing other things that can bring you revenue, that can bring your portfolio something that builds on you. Don't just put $1 out there just so you can have $1 out there. Make $1 go out there and bring back 2. I mean, because if you do that, then you never go hungry. Your kids will never go hungry. I want to make sure that I'm teaching all the people that I'm working with how to construct and build businesses for themselves so they can grow independently, so they don't have to be dependent on somebody else to build them. So that way they don't have to be like, well, I got to make sure that I got to do this so that guy's happy so I can be happy. No. Build your own business. Get your own growth going. Work with other businesses. Be a mindful person and build your business around comprehensive understanding and real business tactics. Don't go try to be shady. Don't talk around in circles. Come straight forward, open-minded, and clearness. That's how I like to run my business. That's how I try to teach people to run their businesses. That way they can have, like I said, portfolios. They can have 5 businesses. 3 fail, 2 succeed. You're still winning.
Hell yeah. And that it's like you said, you can't just have one basket. You gotta multiple baskets, speaking of multiple baskets,
especially if you're working for yourself. If you're working for yourself, you have to expect failure. And in fact, if you're not expecting and learning from failure, you might as well just quit. Because it's every failure that you see that gets you closer to the thing that you succeed at. But
listen, folks,
people get caught up in the failure.
Damn. Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth, man? And I gotta ask real quick. With the artists you're already working with, is there an artist on your list that's a goal to achieve? Like, that one that's out there, like, one day I'm coming for you.
You mean like competition wise, or want to work with?
Want to work with?
I want to work with as many people as I can. To be honest, I'm not. As long as you bring heart, you don't even got to bring talent. just bring your heart, just bring what you want, and then we can work together. Don't get me wrong, I want to work with the big stars. I want to work with the Tech Nines, the Eminems, the everything, But I see building my empire with all the artists that I build, the small guys, and then bringing everybody up and rising as a city, as a unit. That is more lucrative and more helpful than working with, one big guy from the top ratings. If I got a whole city that follows me, I don't care about one person that's got a few cities on lock.
Yeah, and and that's why I love people from Detroit. They got that mindset. I'm a big fan of Detroit in general, just the city. I've never been yet. I'm going to. I'm a big
Great
Detroit
city.
Lions.
Yeah, great city.
I'm a big
People
Detroit Lions fan.
People are
Pistons,
fearful, but I don't think they should be. I think that they should come experience it. We got a lot of great places, great casinos, great restaurants, great places to visit. The River Walk is a beautiful place to just walk around and just enjoy life.
Yeah, man. Like it's on my bucket list. That's on my bucket list to go to Detroit because, like I said, just been a huge fan of that city and especially the music that city has produced.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that's come from that area.
Absolutely.
So talking about and you were talking about new merchandise and everything like that. With merchandise in general, is that going to include physical CDs? Because I know a lot of artists now are not really doing physical CDs.
I'm going to do physical CDs. This is my plan for that. I'm going to release a bunch of singles through the year. And then at the end of the year, I'm going to release an album with all the singles on it. And I'm going to release an album that you can physically buy.
Yeah, I love physical albums. So
I do too. I believe that it's something that should never go away.
Never go away because I just found this out the other day. So Snoop Dogg bought Death Row Records, the entire catalog, and he's plucking them from Spotify. So like All Eyes on Me from Tupac's gone and some other things are gone. And I was just like, oh God, no. And I went and dust off the CDs, I was like,
here's how I feel about that. I gotta sit on the fence on both sides. Like, don't get me wrong, everybody loves them songs and they're out there, we get to watch them for free. But man, the streaming industry, do they deserve as much as they're getting?
No.
I ask a question. Do they deserve as much as they're getting? I mean, because who's the one actually making the music? Who's the one actually putting in the hours, the thought process, and putting their blood, sweat, and tears into it for somebody else to make every dollar and then give me 2 cents for it?
That is very true. That is very true.
So the way that Snoop doing it, selling all of his stuff basically independently, not relying on these big streaming platforms. But the thing is, he has a built-in following. What small artist has a built-in following big enough to support that? Like, all right, say I go and just release everything on just this website and you can get it nowhere else. Sure. I mean, it's a great plan as long as you have a strategic plan on putting the promotion to bring the site, population. Because if you ain't getting traction and you're getting outshined by all these other people, because now you're your own streaming platform. Now you got to compete with Spotify, Apple Music. You got to compete with them. They're not helping you now at all. They're your competition. So I mean, it goes both ways. It's good for some people. It's not good for others. I mean, it's rough. It's rough for an artist.
Oh yeah, and especially these days. Imagine back in the day, though, how like just to get a record deal, that was like the goal for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like you could just plug in a microphone into the USB and start doing your thing and pay a subscription to get your singles pushed out, to all these platforms and whatnot. And then like back in the day, you hustled, you put flyers everywhere. You
went to every bar, to every gig, to every show. You played for 1, 2 people. I mean, to be honest, you should still be doing that.
I think so too.
If you want it, then you should be wanting it. Don't just talk about wanting it. I told people a long time ago, if you want to be something, stop wanting to be it and start being it. I told people a long time ago, I'm a singer-songwriter. They all say, well, you want to be a singer-songwriter. No, sir, I am a singer-songwriter until the day that I am it. And then 5-10 years later, guess what I am? I'm a singer-songwriter. I make money off my own profits, and I do what I got to. Why? Because I stopped wanting it and started being it.
Amen, brother. Fucking man. When I feel the passion from you. I can just feel it. And that's why I think this new album that's coming is it's going to be electric. What would you say this album is different from Timeless?
What's different between Timeless? I guess I let more people in on this one. You know what I mean? Timeless was more of a personal passion project for myself. Like I said, it took me like 5 to 7 years to craft it. So it was all me. I had a few outer people help me on the production of it, but the music was all me. This one, I'm allowing more other minds in. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing yet. You know, we'll figure it out. And I'm letting, I'm being more creative openly. You know, so I'm working with, say, this guy over here. He's doing my rock and roll bit. He's doing guitars and things like that. I got more female vocalists on this one. You know, I mean, more people to open up, and not only working with them, but bouncing ideas off them, and throwing ideas back as well, letting them mold as they go back and forth and creating the project. So that's a little bit different.
Hell yeah, man. And like I said, there's just so many things I just can't wait to hear for, especially I know you and Bales have something going on, and I know, yeah. We do.
The whole AR team is on fire.
Yeah, all on fire.
They really are on fire.
We're coming to the end of this, and just to let everyone know before you go, we're gonna play the song Between the Lines. You're gonna listen to this beautiful song, or if you're watching on YouTube or whatever, we are located everywhere, anywhere you want to listen to podcasts. And this part of the show, I like to give the floor to the artists. You can plug anything and everything you like to. The floor is yours.
I appreciate that, man. Yeah, I just like to plug in all my social media, my Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all my I still work with Spotify, and I still work with all the major streaming. So wherever you stream your music, go and stream my new music today. I'm going to be releasing on a much more regular schedule. I got a bunch things in mind for the future. I'm working on new flyers for everybody. If you need anything for your next project, make sure you get a hold of us. I have my email out there. My email is dhood1010@yahoo.com, and you can find me there. You can either find me at Yahoo or Gmail. I have both, so you can find me at dhood1010 at either. So go ahead and email me. Let's work. Let's get out here and actually make a difference in what we're doing out here.
Hell yeah. And I will have all of that information in the description of this podcast. So if you are like, oh shit, what did he say? You will find it in the description below, and you can go and reach out. Russell Hood is truly a great artist. I love you, brother. Like, I'm so glad we finally got to do this.
Yeah, me too. We love you too, man. We appreciate everything you guys are doing over there, and we understand that it's a hard not life, and we got to grind, or else we ain't gonna get nothing at all. So let's get what's ours.
Amen. I'm motivated now. It's early in the morning. I'm like, all right, I'm up. Let's do this.
You already know, man. As soon as I get off here, I'm back into the studio. I'm already working now, man.
For sure. But thank you, everybody, for listening. Thank you to Russell Hood. Thank you to Armed Robbery Entertainment. Much love, much respect. And after that, you're going to like and subscribe. You're going to share with your grandma, share with your grandpa, share with the bum down at Walmart. I'm KB, the Sexy Ninja, and this is Russell Hood. And remember, stay sexy, ninjas.
Later.
We live between the words we say, unspoken truths that hide away. I had to read between the lines of the past and present to find the future. Open up my heart to this pain to find a resolution. Destiny's instilled in your soul, the Lord's the absolution. Living for the weakest among us, accepted persecution. Life is but a second, don't miss it. Looking for 5 minutes, fill it with the things that you love. Cherish and ride with it, love it till the end, the last moment of every second. Fighting for what is right in this world and never second guessing. Okay, I'm losing, trying to reprogram hear myself. I put the words on the paper instead of screaming for help. I needed a way to be free, I needed a way to be felt. Fucking escape from this world and the fucking fires from hell. You see, I'm burning inside, I'm being eaten alive. These evil thoughts that consume me and try to hurt me with lies. And as I stand as a man, I hold tight to my pride. And I'll speak real clear, don't read between the lines. Between the words we say, unspoken truths that hide away in the darkest parts of our minds. Who am I fooling? I'm losing, bruising, contusions, protruding. Smile on my face so I can paint an illusion. Lifelong friends have been lost, good-hearted people get crossed. I gave my life for this job, but was it worth what it cost? I speak up with passion, and then I back it with action. Engage calamity tactics, reroute the power with antics. And you can be what you want, see yourself as a star. When you reach for the moon, take the earth as the mark. Now that you're up here, let's bounce. Let's rip the roof off this house. Let's knock the dirt off our hands and wipe the sweat from our brows. You can live for the day and still believe in tomorrow. You can grow through the pain and turn the pain into power. They got some powerful towers, but they ain't taking what's ours. They want the world to be theirs, but I'll be damned if I cower. I'd rather stand for my people and turn my people to equals. Would you look at the time? Don't read between the lines.